Where are we at here? Hello, hello. Hope my earphones are working. Gonna invite Frank in here. Just grabbing something to eat. Oh, okay, I won't be crunching, man. So, hello, hello. Just arriving home from the road. Eating some sort of mashup that I threw together real quick. Spicy. Oopsie. Don't break things. Let's go sit down here. Oh, did I turn that off? The whole point was that I wouldn't burn. Yeah. Now it's off. Ooh. Whoops, there's Frank probably. Go and sit down here. Hi, Frank.
Hey, there he is.
How's
Hi,
it going?
Fraser.
Oh, buddy.
Good, huh? How's it going with you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Just got off the road. Good trip. All the passengers slept, though. That kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I'm fine with it. But
That's
then
a
I
good
got
trip.
here and I was like, oh, man. You know, if we're talking, at least that keeps me lively, as it were. Yeah. No, I got
I'll
here.
turn the music up. Oh, wait, come up with the music.
That's it. You just got to keep different things going. I sometimes like to listen to voices. You know, like there's a good programs on the radio sometimes. Kind of switches up though. Halfway you lose one city and you get radio stations in the other city.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
that's all right.
If you have satellite radio in your car, you can get a pretty decent connection. It's
Yeah, I've heard that,
it's
and it's a weird
universal.
thing. Some passengers said satellite radio doesn't work when you're beside the American embassy. Weird, right?
Well, they might be blocking some of the signals for their own. I don't know.
I don't care. I don't have satellite radio.
I don't know. Conspiracy
Regular
theory.
radio works as
Ooh.
I drive by there. There might be snipers looking at me from the American embassy. It looks like a fortress. Oh, their embassy is like
Yeah,
menacing.
right. I know.
Boy, oh boy. Anyways,
It's-
um, how are you doing today? Hmm.
All right. A little depressed. Uh, We're supposed to get 6 to 10 inches of snow Wednesday,
Oh,
and one of my tires is bald. I need new tires. I don't have the money
oh,
to get them right now. So yeah.
no, I know what you mean. It's
So,
now
and
you're
I
thinking if you have to leave the home, you have to drive with that
yeah,
slippery tire. Yeah, go
my
extra
brother
careful. You'll make it.
yeah, my brother's home, not home. He's the one that usually does the shoveling. My
Mm,
landlord's 87 or 89 years old. I'm gonna be the one doing the shoveling tomorrow or Wednesday. I
awesome.
don't know how much I can do. He's got a snow blower, but it's gonna be that. They say it's gonna be the heavy wet snow, so I don't know.
And you got to
Well,
get
it's
rid of
really
it, or else
nothing.
it packs into ice real quick, right?
Yeah. So that's gonna be my day Wednesday night, shoveling snow.
Shoveling snow. Something to look forward to. This is like the winter sport with the car. I have like a little
Yeah,
shovel in the car. I like when you get the really bad days, you got a shovel to get your car out of the spot because you know they plow snow right up to it. Well, they just go really
yeah,
quick up and down this little streets, right? So you got this big pile of snow beside your car. Now you find a parking spot at the other place where you're gonna go. Oh, there's a parking spot, but it's full of snow.
yeah.
It's
Right.
a whole sport, man. Oh my goodness. Oh
When I was
yeah.
living at my other house, I had a little. There was I was the only house that was detached on both sides. It was a freestanding house. So I had a driveway on either side, and spot in front of my house, just big enough to park my car, blocking my driveway. I shared a driveway with the neighbor, so we shared driveway. We didn't care. Someone blocked the driveway. We had a good rapport. So one year it snowed, dug it out. Some guy across the street steals the spot. He
Oops.
he was working at yeah. He was working at what the IVF. It's an in vitro fertilization center at the time. So I go in. I go, move your effing car out of this spot. I didn't dig it out for you to park there. He moved
Uh,
his car.
yeah. Okay. No, that's
That was
good. That's good.
nasty.
There's a certain kind of like etiquette you're supposed to follow. I've seen some places
Yeah,
like
right.
parking spots is taken very seriously.
Yeah, you're in New
Oh
York there.
man. New York, don't mess around. That's it.
Don't mess with us. No,
You
don't
might
mess with
find yourself
parking.
a few
No.
tires short of a car.
Yeah, definitely.
Disappear in
Headlights
the night.
busted. I might have busted a few headlights.
Could have happened. You're just walking by. Things happen, I suppose. No, that's all right.
Oh, there was a guy blocking my driveway. He refused to move his car. I broke into his car, put it in neutral. Me and my brother pushed it out in the street.
Just don't do any
Yeah, I
damage.
was
Just
bad.
that. Just that.
No, no. I just moved it in the street. I moved
Just
it.
move it. Yeah, that's it. That's gentle. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah. No, that's it. So
Oh, God, yeah.
did you see Sean's music? Sean did have a music track. I
No, I
thought we
didn't.
could like fit it in there somehow or pieces of it into those videos. They're super easy to do, eh? Like you can see, I don't actually. There's some
I have
pauses.
no idea how to do
One
it.
of them, there was like a big bathroom break. I'm like, oh, I should probably cut that out. Bah. Like I listened to it one time, and it's this application. You listen to it. Well, I listened to it 2 times today. I kind of have an idea. Oh, we talked about this and that
Yeah.
and that. You listen to it, and then you cut. And then you just keep listening, and you press the button that just says cut, and now you have a cut point. And then I created 8 different pieces, you see what I mean? From the
Yeah,
conversation
you
of an
broke
hour
it
and a
up on
half.
on YouTube too. Yeah.
And then all I did was put a piece at the beginning and drop one clip in, and then the outro.
Yeah.
And then it takes like maybe 10 minutes. The longer ones, it was like 15 minutes just to process. And then you got to throw them up to YouTube. And for me, like my internet connection, I'll put a few on just now. I think I have 3 or 4, but it'll take like all
Yeah,
night to
I
load them
get
up.
notifications. I subscribe to the channel. I get notifications. I want to see what you're uploading, but I can't watch the videos. I just can't watch myself.
Oh, for that reason? Yeah, no. I guess
Yeah.
these ones are pretty like I like this topics that it's like Jedi and Star Wars and South Park and
Yeah.
just dumb stuff, right? Nazis. Like, how did we get to Nazis? So dumb.
So I kind of saw you stir the pot a little today with Sean too about Islam.
What the fuck? I don't know. I'm not talking about that shit anymore. It's just dumb. I didn't realize it was such
I
a
know.
hot button. I was like,
It's a very hot. No, with us,
what?
it's a very hot topic. Because
But I was just
we
like,
debated
I
Muslims
was just
before.
seeing the same rhetoric that I hear here all the time. I was like, look, here's what the other side's rhetoric looks like. The conclusion of the article is actually pretty soft. I don't know if you read it. Just basically saying,
No, I didn't read it.
religion
But
isn't
they know what it's
evil or
about.
good. It's people that are evil or good. That was all she was saying, is like to try and put one up above the other ones,
Eh,
it's just not going to work, right? So and then I
I
get Sean's
disagree.
point about
No.
the base of the scripture, but the actual like behavior of the people, I think that proves my point. And I don't need to go to the scripture, and I don't need to even talk about that one. It's just, silly.
Actually,
So
well, okay. Well, you do need to go to their scripture because it's not the people. The people can be good or bad. Not saying that. The
that's it.
people, the religion itself, the basic tenets. You look at that, and that's
I
if
don't
you're
have to go.
a devoted follower of that religion, you follow the basic tenets. So if a religion tells you the golden rule, you follow the golden rule.
Yeah,
If the religion
I think
tells
that's the
you
one.
to hurt people who aren't part of your religion, that's what you follow.
If a
And
religion
that
tells
part of
you
religion,
not to follow a golden rule, though, I think everyone's barbs would go up, and no one would follow a religion that says don't follow the golden rule. And there's like different
no, whether
exceptions of
let me
different
just,
practices or different like
well,
beliefs
let me
of
tell you,
different
there is an
dusty old
exception.
books. But the Muslims I
There is
know
an exception.
don't know what Sean's talking about. The Muslims I know, that's not them, man. Like if something
Right,
happened
because maybe they
500
don't
years
know
ago with
Islam
the
that well.
Prophet, it's like, okay, well, the Muslims nowadays
But
aren't
Fraser,
following that example. Go ahead.
Fraser, they don't know Islam that well, so they don't know all. A lot of Muslims do not know the entirety of Islam. They don't know all
And
the
how
basic
could they
things.
possibly? How could it?
Exactly.
Like
How
it's
could
for
they
me in
possibly know
Christianity.
all?
I can't even know Christianity. He says like, well, learn everything
I
about
don't even
Islam.
know
It's
all of
like, no,
Christianity.
I
So
don't want to learn
what they
anything about
knew,
Islam.
what they do know about Islam, those little bits, they say it's a religion of peace. That they have a good
That's it.
relationship with God.
And so
Fine.
people pick up
That's
that
great.
and
So
don't
they may
look
be great
further.
people.
So they're not
Exactly.
true
So they may be great
Muslims.
people.
That's fine.
They don't know their religion completely. But
They don't know it
from
like
what,
you. And there's the other thing about like interpreting their message for them, and that's what they must believe because I've interpreted it like this.
here's the thing. I'm glad you
I'm
said
not
that
going to buy
because
that.
of the
And so I don't
Quran.
even want to enter in that
No,
conversation with
Fraser,
anyone. It's just
this is
not you.
perfect. This
I
is
don't buy
perfect.
that at all. So go ahead, tell me.
Fraser,
Yeah.
because the Quran is written, and then we have tafsir. Tafsir explains each verse in the Quran. For every Muslim that reads a verse in the Quran, they read tafsir in order to get the correct meaning. So, so there you go. Everything's explained. You got hadith, you got Quran, and you got tafsir. It's all explained in everything. So I can give you the verses, but we're not going there right now. But everything's
No,
explained.
I just
If
like
you don't
again,
know,
I
if you
just
don't
won't.
understand, you got tafsir.
I just won't speak
That's
to how any given Muslim would interpret their message from God.
Well, like I
I
said
just won't.
before,
I won't even try to tell you how
they're
they do
about
it,
what?
and I won't accept you telling me how they do it. So you can tell me how they
No,
do
no, I
it, but
won't. I
again,
won't.
I won't take it as anything, and I won't respond as
But
anything.
again, here it is again. There's about 1 billion Muslims in the world. 70% are illiterate, so they only go by what their imams tell them, their teachers. So they don't know true Islam. So they're only being told what from other people. So they have a pass, obviously, because they don't know. The people who do know exactly what Islam is, don't have a pass because they understand Islam, Christianity, Judaism, all the other religions. So that's where the line is drawn. People who don't know or can't know because either they're illiterate or they're not allowed to know.
Okay, you give them a pass.
Absolutely, yeah.
The other ones,
Absolutely.
how
Because they
would you
don't know.
treat someone like how? Like I don't think what we were talking about this morning would make any Muslim want to join our group. Like really, that stuff's the sort of stuff that like I think you might know kind of gets you kicked off Facebook or something, right? Like in terms of
Yeah,
just the
right, yeah.
content, right? And just I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like that was some pretty hard stuff. I don't think we're gonna get a Muslim in here. You know what I mean? So of the ones that
Probably
we
not. Probably
scream
if
at,
we
maybe
do, it's going to.
99% they're just not true Muslims. Okay, so why are we talking about Muslim nations this and Muslim nations that? Or
No, they
are
could be
and
true
it just gets
Muslims.
into this thing. It's like, okay, well,
Here
Muhammad
it is.
did something
Well,
in some sub-scripture
well, here
part,
it
and
is,
someone
Fraser.
said, like, okay,
They
fine,
could.
but I don't
They
see
could be true.
Muslims acting like that ever in my life. So again,
Well, not,
I'm
you
trying
won't
to
see the
justify the message of
Muslims
like
acting like that
everything I
right now.
see compared to like some of this stuff that was written, the Crusades and this sort of stuff. Dusty, don't
You can't
care. I
compare the
want today
Crusades
and
to
what I
Islam.
see today. So again, if I'm looking at just Muslims that aren't practicing properly, or if I'm looking at Christians that are doing this, that's fine. I'm just not going to interpret how they're doing it. I'm just going to look how they're living. I see the golden rule. I'm like, okay, well, they must not have taken that part then. That's fine. So again, I'm just
I
not going
could
to try
agree
and
with that.
interpret them, say how they're reading it, who's giving it to them, how they're giving it to them. I'm just not there. So I'm just looking at like
But what? Let's say, for instance,
actions.
I'm going to give you for instance, Fraser. Hypothetically speaking,
Hmm.
I could think in my head I'm a true Christian, but not knowing 100% of what Christianity is, right? I know
Hmm.
little bits and pieces. So a Muslim could think they're a true Muslim, not knowing the entirety of Islam, what
Yeah.
Islam is. So
Just saying
what
love,
they
love, love
think in
all
their
day long.
mind,
They don't get it. Oh, it's not
right,
love.
right,
I don't know if it's love or not love. It seems like
yeah,
if they're saying it's love, okay, it's love. Are you loving? Yes. Oh, look at how loving you are. Great. So we're in agreement.
exactly.
That's where I start. I don't want to go into their books and say, no, look, you're not loving because this thing, but this guy that up I interpreted says that you're not loving. It's like, what? That's not a. It's not an argument against a person, right? Arguing maybe against scripture or
No, we're not
something, but
arguing
I'm
against the
not
person.
arguing
We're arguing
against
against,
scripture
right. We're
anymore.
arguing against their
I've left it.
scriptures,
I've
right?
left it alone. So yeah, I'm going trying to get down to the personal level because I feel like that goes a lot better than if I'm trying to talk philosophy. Every single time is blown up. I try and say something
Well,
there. It was just like,
if
hey,
hermeneutics,
why don't we talk about these things? And it got into like
well, if hermeneutics
genital
applies to the
mutilation
Bible,
and child rape. And it was
they
like,
don't talk.
okay,
Yeah,
this is not at all what when I said stir the pot, I just says, hey, here's some like something to discuss. We can go back and forth. I even said in this top, I'm like, I don't
yeah,
really agree with
Fraser,
it.
you
But
have
then all of
no
a sudden,
idea because
I was the representative of this material. It's like, holy criminy, never, never, never
yeah.
again. So I'm responding to you, but honestly, after this, we're talking
No,
cars and frickin'
I
Jedi.
actually
That's it.
told Sean. If you look at the thing, I actually told Sean, calm down, because Fraser's not ready for this yet. So I
I'm
told
not
him,
ready for it.
back off a
I'm not
little
ready
bit.
for it. Yeah, no, it was a tough exchange. I like again, I went to the conclusion of the article. I was like, what? That sounds like again, I just wanted to go back to it and say, look, it was sounds reasonable at the end. There was some parts in the middle, obviously rhetorical. But again, from the other side, I've heard it here. And Sean just repeated them. It's like they were saying in the article a bit like, oh, Christians have done bad stuff to Jews. And he's like, oh, that's insulting. And then boom, what everything insulting that could possibly, if I'm a Muslim listening to him, that is the most insulting spiel that he just said after saying, oh, how can you be insulting about Christians? They're like,
Well,
wow,
that's why I
wow.
told
So
him
I'm
back
hearing
off.
these two things from both sides. Like, I don't even want to get in the middle of it. I just, like, I shouldn't have touched it. It's just
Well,
this
no, you
sticky
should
kind of
know. That, no,
nastiness. It's like,
because
I
you're
don't
not
want to
ready for
talk
that
with
yet.
Sean about that. I don't want to talk with anyone about that crap. That's just
You're not ready for that
scriptural
yet.
garbage on both, or scriptural dusty literature interpretation on both sides. It's like, okay, you interpret that scripture like this, you interpret that scripture like this, you interpret that scripture like this, and you interpret that like that. Now we've got four interpretations for two things. It's like, go ahead, have your fun. And that's like the
But
two
we have,
apologists. That's
all
like
right,
David
but you
Wood
said
and
you
the
have
other
the
guy.
Bible.
It's just like, okay, those guys can have their fun in scripture.
No,
I'm going to step away. That's just it. I just don't want to get into scripture. I think that's the thing. I can argue one way or the other
All
with
right.
it, because again, anyway, so that's
Well,
that's
just
it. I
last
really
thing.
want to, I want to
But the
move on
last
from that.
thing, Fraser, is hermeneutics applies to the Bible, also applies to the Quran. So we're going to leave it like that, and then
Yeah,
we can move on now.
absolutely. Yeah, and just interpretation and how everyone, like, what was the one of the principles? Every interpretation is interest driven. That's one of the core principles of hermeneutics. And just
Could
that
be,
there's
yeah.
no way me or you or anyone
Well,
can be unbiased in our interpretation of anything, absolutely anything. And it was just when I
that's
read that, I
true.
was
Now
like,
there is a certain
holy
bias,
cow, it's
you know.
so true. And I can't help it. We try hard not to, but we
Oh
have
yeah, no,
biases.
I don't think there's any human in the world that can possibly be
Impossible,
unbiased
right?
in reading
That's
anything.
it.
It's
That's it.
impossible, right?
And
So
even
even if
reading
you're
someone's
98%
message.
unbiased,
Hmm.
yeah, even if you're 98% unbiased, you got that little 2% that's going
That's
to
it.
sneak in, and it's going to cloud what your interpretation is
That's
going to
it.
be.
Where I was
But
born, how I grew
then
up. Yeah,
again,
everything. Yeah.
right, exactly, your environment too, where you grew up. Then again, you have the context of what's being said. Other people,
Hmm.
get 1,000 people could touch the Quran or the Bible, and said this, that, and the other
That's
thing.
it.
But then you have to get the core message back, look at the core beliefs, the core system, see what their beliefs are, and then interpret the way you want to. I guess
The
it's
one
it's
who
it's
comes
tough.
to it, like you say, the one who comes to it with
Yeah,
10 minutes of time, and she comes in, or he or she comes in, is like, I need a religion of love. Which one is called love? Oh, this one's called love. Okay, I'll take that one because I'm all about love. And never reads another thing. Like you say, that's just like a lazy
and
way
right
of
with
doing
your
it.
friends, and
Or there's like
friends
full
got
on
into
like,
Wiccan.
full on Sean, which is like 600 books deep into every religion and every apologist kind of movement. It's like, ha, oof. I'm more the kind of,
Yeah,
it's,
a little too much. Yeah,
it's not quite that deep. But the Wiccan, you were saying the Wiccan,
no,
Wicca.
which scratches the. Well, you can say I was going to say that your friend joined the Wiccan cult, I don't know, a coven, I should say, and she could think that's a religion of love. I can go into that. Let me get into that.
Yeah,
So
right. Like if
yeah,
we just read those 13 things and like with a kind of a naive
yeah,
eye,
right. That
you wouldn't see
yeah,
it. But
they're like
after we
the
said it,
farmers like to have sex. It looks like
fornic
just farmers like to have sex, and that's it.
oh, I thought you were going somewhere else. But no, it was I really like
No,
what you
no,
said. I listened
no.
back. No, that's sorry. I was trying to think about the thing you said before, how it's like, it's not just there's a type that of personality that would be driven or would like something so wide open, which so might be personal, so I can like kind of do what I want with it. Not that it's based that 13 principles were bad, but I could see what you said, that it would take a certain personality that would take the Sith path, right? Or the Wiccan,
Exactly.
like the
Yeah.
witches, they'll start
Right.
doing, wait, I
Or the
want to do some of
Jedi path.
those,
Yeah.
those nasty spells, right? And, I could see
Right.
how that takes a personality type, situation, and just a naivete that you could get in there, unfortunately. Because
It's
it's
a
just so
yeah. I think
vague, like you say, it's
yeah.
kind of fluffy, fluffy flowers having sex. And then it gets down into like, oh, you want some real power? Okay, here's a nice little positive one. Do you want some real power now? And so
You're
it's
right. Right.
slippery
And we got to
slope,
get a
but
little
a
darker.
personality type that's
Yeah.
really looking for ultimate power over others, so it was, I don't know where I was going with that. I really like the Star
No, I
Wars.
just
It got
want
me
to plant
thinking.
wheat and have sex. I'm
You
just the
said
kind of guy
that?
who just want to plant wheat and have sex. That's all.
Plant, wheat, and have sex. That's it. Plant, wheat, and have babies. Yeah, plant seeds everywhere.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Wow.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well,
That's
my
right.
seed, wheat seed.
Exactly. No, it's so good. No, oh man.
No,
My
we'll get into other stuff.
we'll get into this.
We're gonna
I
get
was
into
actually
other
like
stuff
I came
later.
on, I was like
No,
all tired. Now
no,
you got me
Fraser.
riled up a
And
bit, but I should
you're
know
into
is
this late.
yeah, so
You're into this late because I've been studying Christianity for about 8 years, Islam for about the
that's it.
same amount of time. So it's not a thing you're gonna get overnight. It's a long process. So it's you get
And
there.
I
It's
it's to get there, but yeah, I think the way that I'm
yeah,
going
you
about
can,
it
yeah,
is
yeah.
like I get nits and pits like from the analogies and just from continuing conversations without having to sit through Bible study. And so what I feel like I'm getting is those like the actual examples, how we apply it today, because we're gonna talk like again, if we go back 500 years, it's poor peasants that don't have 6 seconds to
Right, they
think,
were
right?
illiterate. They didn't have
And they're just
the Bible in front of them, so they didn't know. So that basically they're going again by what their bishops,
that's
popes,
it.
teachers, whatever have you.
Yeah, and
And
some of those
and
bishops were
but the
not good
pope
people. Some of them were, but
and they could and then though there were a lot of bad popes and bishops way back when in
and
the
that the
Middle
people were
Ages.
too
They
stupid to know any better, basically.
they were
Unfortunate to say.
interpreting script. Well, that's what. Well, that was
So,
happened with the Great
right,
Schism too. Martin Luther. That's because he saw the Catholic
yeah,
Church was becoming corrupt. So
And
it's
there's
not the church itself that was corrupt. It's
no,
the people
it's a
who made
people,
it
right?
corrupt.
That's it.
So,
And
you go
yeah,
back to, again, you go back to the core teaching. If we go back to the core teachings, we'll go back to a nice, perfect church. It's the people that are
yeah,
going to corrupt the
the
teachings.
people will corrupt it.
So,
Yeah,
people can do anything. It's like you said, the Jedi Sith path. You take
yeah,
this religion or this core beliefs, you want more power, push a little more towards Sith, a
yeah.
little more. Or you want to be
And
good,
yeah,
like
every
all
single person
Jedi,
has to be
because
conscious of it. It's not like you say, even if some,
exactly,
like
yeah.
again, not say which one or which one, like maybe, anyways, there's imagine a religion that purely is, it's got one word on the title, it says love, it's got one word inside, it just says love, right? Just to be
Yeah, what if
simply,
you love,
just simple,
like we
simple.
talked the other
And
day,
then
what
someone
if you love
follows
sex
it.
over,
I bet you a evil person
yeah,
could
what kinds of love though?
somehow say, I'm part
Oh,
of the
exactly.
love
Well,
church, and then still do
I was
evil
going to get
things. Like
into that.
people, right? People will do just
We were talking about
terrible
lust,
things.
because
Mm,
we were talking about the whole podcast about lust. What if you'd love to have sex? That's a kind of love, but it's
right.
very selfish love.
Yeah.
So
And but you could,
you love money. You do anything to get money, but it's love, but
yeah,
you love money over everything else. So you're using that to be
yeah.
evil, uh,
And
or
not,
like
not,
loving your
not,
fellow man.
yeah. Hmm.
Give me,
I
let's
agree.
say you give up, you love someone enough to give them your last piece of bread or your clothing
Yeah.
off your back or you donate to the poor. That kind of love. So it's love is so vague as it can have positive and negative connotations too. It's what you do with it that makes it evil or
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah, and does that have that negative connotation where it's just almost like that? It's like, no, they're using love wrong, obviously. Almost like they're using a
Right,
religion
right.
wrong, almost, all right? It's like that's not love because that's in the golden dog poop pile, right? Just because,
Yeah,
you're doing
right.
that, it's greedy, you're hurting other people, you're taking money, or you're using fornication, you're fornicating, you're using fornication in a bad way now. No, but you know what I mean? So they're calling it love, but it's
Yeah, yeah,
obviously
yeah.
not a good thing, right? Just like what Anakin did. It's like, yeah, it's for the love of a woman, but
Love of
she
his wife.
died
Look what he
and
did. I mean,
hundreds of people died
yeah, but
because
how many?
that
He
wasn't
killed
love,
hundreds
right?
of people.
And
Right,
it didn't
love for
work
his
in the
wife.
end, his goal.
And it didn't work exactly. So
That,
we would in the church just yesterday we talking. They would mention the Ten Commandments in the Old Testament, and that's a form of love too. Love God, love your neighbor. That's what
mhm,
Jesus summed it up in the New Testament. So was it love God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. So that's the kind of love that the Christian God teaches.
mhm.
Love. And the Jewish God, well, the same God basically. There's love everybody, treat them as you would want to treat yourself. The
And I
love
think,
that we could
yeah,
talk about, that the selfish kind of love, fornication, greed, uh, revenge, was it avarice? Avarice, yeah, that's greed, yeah. All those, the seven deadly sins,
the
basically. You could
seven.
love any of those things, but then, like Paul said, if you love those things, they become idols to you. So those idols become your gods, and you can't love God and loving all these other things.
Yeah, you really have to
You
get
can't
that
serve
focus.
God,
Yeah, yeah.
right? You
I
can't
think,
serve
yeah.
God and serve these other things in your life.
That's good. That's good. Actually, I had a no. You know what? I got to learn. That's a beautiful point to end on. Just not because I'm just tired, but it's like, why add to that? That was a really good point. Wait.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just like, you're praying to these things, not God, not love. It's things. It's anger. It's jealousy. It's greed.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. No, you put it much better. Sorry, I made it worse, but
Thank you.
we've got the video. I'll cut out my part and then we'll skip to the conclusion. I know how to do that now. Cut out what I said.
Great. Yeah, it's great. Perfect. Oh,
I
look at
am
these thumbs. They're so
top.
tiny.
Anyways,
I got
wait,
small thumbs. Look at this.
2 thumbs up. Good episode. No,
Yeah.
like I say, I probably should sign off, but anyways, we'll catch up this week. What's tomorrow? I'm back
Yeah,
early
no, that was
tomorrow.
great.
I got a little one, but I'll be in a little bit earlier in the evening, so whew, I have a little bit more energy. Yeah,
This is you tired?
yeah, I'm
You're
totally
tired?
bad, man. I'm done. I've got
Man.
like zero energy. I'm just like, as soon as I hang up, it'll be. I could. Wow. No, honestly, it's taken me effort to not
Really?
close my eyes. It was like that is comfortable. Oh, I could sleep like this. I'm in one of those things. I'm terrible. Oh
Oh,
man, I didn't realize it was like suck. And even when I got on, I was like, Okay, Frank, you'll have to be. And then you got me all worked up and stuff. You got my blood flowing. So yeah, this
I
will be.
got you worked up. How did I get you worked up?
Well, no, it worked out, but when we got talking about Sean and stuff, I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
worked
well, I was
out.
trying to let that go, and then I'm talking about it now, and I was
Yeah,
like, should be
that was
talking
a
about
fun
this, and now I'm talking
podcast.
about it.
That was a fun podcast. I like that.
That one
That was
was,
good.
yeah, I've got to cut up a lot of,
Yeah.
I think, like now I've got this idea to cut these things up like this.
Well, you can put that
Everything
in
will work.
Finding Truth too. That podcast that we did, because there's a lot in there that that we found the truth that you can put
From
on
theirs,
yours.
yeah. No, no, no. I'm
Yeah,
thinking about, well, I have to be touchy a little bit about what Sean wants, because, like I say, our channel is a little bit different than everything under the thing, but
yeah,
maybe, just to use clips of you and I,
yeah. You can do
or
like 5 minute snippets or something like that. Yeah,
like
is
just
that?
little snippets, like, and then we were just referring to it, but also just like link to it as well. Like I think
Yeah.
our YouTube page,
All
it
I
likes all of
all I
his
know is
pages, so we know I can always find his videos very easily through the YouTube.
all I know is all I found out yesterday about Jerome was that he's 5'1" and tough, and I don't I don't want to screw with him.
Tough as, wow, holy Gus.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like
I bet
solid,
he
but
can
yeah.
screw you up.
God, I would have no chance. He chopped my legs off. This guy knows knives and he can move like I had no chance. I'm just like vulnerable way up here. Too much like stuff around the 5 foot area there, around the 4 foot
Yeah,
area.
right.
It's not something you want to. Anyway, no, no, no. I'm not messing with him anytime soon.
Not either, but no,
No, no, no.
he's a really
He's
nice
just such
guy. I
a nice
like him
guy.
a lot.
Oh, he's so soft.
He's,
Yeah, but a hard
I
history.
wish I
Man.
could
Wow.
see him. I would love to have, if I could come to Canada, I'd love to meet you guys. I'd love to
Yeah,
meet him. He can't come to New York. I had to come to Canada.
such a crazy story. Yeah, but that's all right. This is the one way of making links where those kind of things weren't even possible at all. It's a proxy, but it's just like, we get to know people that
Yeah.
like otherwise, how would I know someone from Brooklyn? I don't know.
Yeah, right? I know.
Pen
I would
pal
never
or
know anybody from
something?
Canada. Yeah, I would never know anybody. I never knew anybody from Canada before Facebook.
Yeah, it was rare. I
Oh,
noticed.
looking at you guys, I was on the camera. I made a joke. I said, I would need a step stool to give you a hug, Fraser. That's all.
No, no, it's
I'm 5'5". I'm not much taller than Jerome. Sean's 5'11". You're 6'5". I mean, it's
oh, it
like
was it was so silly on that video. I was like, I'm standing beside Jerome like this, and
yeah,
it's like, and
you got a hunch,
even
right?
him beside, like you say, it could just be a thing. Like we're all standing beside each other, tick tick
Yeah,
tick tick, and then Frank would be on the bottom, the rock, and then we'd just be tick 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 tick, and they'd have a split screen
yeah,
like that,
right
Frank,
on
and
the
then tick
rock.
tick tick tick,
Yeah,
everybody on top of him. No, I don't know. No, but
I don't feel
it
like
was
a
good.
rock.
Yeah, no, but you keep saying that. You keep saying that.
I don't. I just have some good things to say once in a while. I'm not a rock. I don't feel like a rock. I wish
Apparently,
I felt like a rock.
that's the thing. Like it's all relative. So somehow, you feel like you're not. But if it's true
Maybe
that
it's
if
a
everyone's
different perspective.
representation of themselves, it's like somehow other people
Yeah.
feel less like a rock than you. So even though you feel all like
Well, the thing is, I
sandstone,
could
but it's like,
see.
mm,
I'm on the outside looking in, so I could see if someone is doing something wrong, acting up. I can say, you shouldn't be doing that. Do something else.
mm,
Help Fraser, help yourself, help Luciano, whatever. So I can say these things. I unfortunately Sean got a little aggressive when I told him to stop smoking pot, but he knew already. I mean, he was on that path anyway. But again, you
mm,
don't like being criticized.
nope, yeah,
So,
that's
and then he got mad at you, and I calmed him down. So,
no, but you're
see
far.
things that I
Like
can.
here we can actually physically kick each other out, and it's
Yeah,
physical. It's
right.
like, and whereas from afar, it's just like that little bit of distance, but the voice, like the solid voice. I don't know. It's weird. It's like yeah, exactly. You have a unique role because of that, which has worked out very much in our favor. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you.
It's
I
true though,
appreciate that.
no? Like how many times it's kind of gone back. I don't know how many times it's gone back to that. I think it's been a few where it's
I
like,
don't know.
oh, on the edge, as it were, where you talk, and again,
Well,
I see some of that in the video too. Not talking each other down, but just bouncing off each other in both directions. And
that's what I like. Yeah, I like that bouncing off because doing the solo, if you don't have a lot to say, you see how hard it is to talk solo. You go
Yeah.
4 or 5 minutes, you lose a lot of what you need to say, and
Hmm.
it's hard. It
And it
really
just,
is.
whereas those 8 videos I cut up from March 2nd or something. Just you and me.
We've spent an hour and a
And
half. You had 8 videos at an hour and a half, right?
but like I kept clipping it out, like how the heck did we go from there to there? And it
Yeah,
was just really weird little
right.
turning points. It was like place
Yeah,
names
right. Now,
and
the
then a
conversation. Yeah.
village called A, and then you said, "Hey, that could be a Canadian village." Yeah, South
Yeah.
Park. South
Yeah,
Park
right.
goes into fudge packing freaking oh no chef or
Yeah,
something. Oh yeah, chef. So he goes into
yeah,
like
right.
chef and
Education.
like
Yeah.
this. We're talking about the overreaction from like a sensitive group, eh?
Yeah,
Scientology is like,
yeah,
whoops.
right.
And then we went Wicca, which
Yeah,
went
right,
Wicca
right. That was.
Star Wars, Wicca Star Trek, because it was like the Jedi, Star Trek. There was
The
like this other
conversation never goes
level.
like
There was
it
Nazis
never
came in
goes
at the
like this.
very
It's
end.
like this.
But but like you say, if we had planned something, excuse me, we
It
might have
doesn't
talked
work
five
out.
minutes each about Wicca, and it would have been pretty boring,
Yeah,
right? But and it just like weird, kind of like both. Why are we talking about Star Wars? It was like, oh, that makes sense. Then it comes
yeah, because it's
around,
analogies. Analogies work well.
yeah. No,
The
I've got
analogies
like
work really well.
they do work well, but just the conversation style, how it is, like I watch in the first 20 minutes, we're talking about connection problems and how stupid Facebook is,
Yeah.
and then it's 2 minutes of weather, and it's just this like weird path of the conversation. But once I chopped it out, I'm like, each one is like a standalone piece. I couldn't even believe it. Like
Right. Right.
you get this weird little tie in at the beginning, like you just say, oh, a aardvark, and then we talk about it
Isn't
was
how
just
the conversations go anyway?
it
I mean,
is,
every
but
conversation I've had
it
goes
goes
like for 20 different topics, and
yeah.
the segues are really weird.
Yeah, but then it cuts up into exactly what we wanted, 5 or 10 minute videos, two five
Yeah.
minute, 10 minute videos. And then it's like segue into something else. And it's like a
I'm
necessary
sorry.
kind of interruption. Like I think I went on to about
Yeah.
500 place names and you're like, hey, how about South Park? We needed that stop. Otherwise we would have got right to the
You were the one that brought up South Park. I forgot about it. You brought it up.
No, you did.
And
I
I mentioned
said,
the kid.
I'm
Did
showing,
I?
yeah, you'll see it. It goes, okay, I was naming a town
Oh, yeah, right. Oh,
A in
yeah, right.
Norway, and
Oh, yeah.
then something
Oh,
else. And you
I
said,
know.
and I said
I
A, and
did
you
mention
said,
it. Right, right.
and it goes, it was weird.
You're
I'm
right.
telling you, like
Then
how
I
we
mentioned the
got
South
there,
Park movie. And I mentioned the Canadian's head being like, they
exactly.
talk
And
like,
then, and then we started ripping on Tom Cruise. That's always fun. And then
Oh, yeah, the fudge packer. You work with.
fudge packing in the closet. Come out of the closet, Tom. Come out of the closet. I could just picture. I don't know if I
Yeah,
know the
right. You
episode,
wouldn't
but
come out of the closet. I
no,
still
but
think
it's
he's
that
gay.
kind
I
of,
don't tell
yeah, no,
anybody,
that's,
so
and it really is,
I think he's
well,
gay.
no, sorry. That sort of level of mockery, I love watching it, but I think I would just be terrible at it. Like those guys get hate mail, I
Yeah.
think. The South Park guys, you
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Right? Oh, and just like,
Yeah, they
but they
had.
don't care. But
Oh,
I care. But I don't
they
want to offend people like that. You know what I mean?
they had one particular cartoon they were doing with it was the Super Religion, some Super Friends, a mockery of the Super Friends cartoon,
Hmm.
and they put Muhammad in there. In Islam, you can't show Muhammad's face,
Can't
any
show it.
pictures or any drawings like that. So they got a ton of hate mail from Muslims. If you put Muhammad's face on, we're gonna kill you, bomb you, and
Then
those are
they
credible
spun
threats.
that somehow too, didn't
So
they?
they censored the face of Muhammad in
Or
the
did they do that?
cartoon. They still used him, but it was censored.
Yeah, they did it in kind of an even, well, they did it, but I remember like Jesus. Oh, he plays a strong role in those early ones, remember? And with that
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah,
poo, the Christmas poo was pretty funny, but it's
yeah,
also kind of
yeah.
like
Mr. Hanky, the Christmas
Mr.
poo. Mr.
Hanky,
Hanky.
and he works with Jesus and he jumps around on people, and it's just like gross. It's just like really nasty. So again, they rip on everyone, right? They don't have
They
any.
don't, and
So,
that's
but
why I don't get too offended because everything's made fun of. So they don't pick on any one particular religion.
that's it. And I feel like I've tried to take on that. Like someone can say something and it's like, well, again, you interpret my life differently than me, or you might interpret my message. And so it's like, that's not offensive. That's just, I've got like, it's like, taking offense is like just, or no, trying not to take offense is just that. It's like, the,
Well, taking offense doesn't mean
it's
that you're
not
right or wrong.
useful.
It just means that you didn't agree with something. So you don't agree
That's
with
it.
it, move on. That's all. You
I'll
don't have
move
a
on.
right to
Yeah.
say
And if they
you
want to
don't.
say really hateful
Well, the thing is,
things,
you don't have a right to censor my speech, and I don't have the right to censor your speech.
that's
That's
it.
the freedom of speech in America. You can say anything that we want as long as it doesn't make a riot or incite violence.
That's
You
it.
basically
But
can't
I
yell
think
fire
that
in a
comes
movie
with
theater.
that. I think there's a caveat that comes with that. You have the right to say everything, but you have the responsibility to have thick skin. Because otherwise it breaks down into like we're talking about other
You have
times,
the
you know,
right to
like
say anything, but
and
you
no,
don't
no,
have
you don't get to
you have
tell
the
say
right.
that because that hurts my feelings. No, 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 no. If we're gonna do free speech, everyone's got to have like I'm
Yeah,
not talking about you, but I'm
I have
talking
the
about you
right.
know what I mean?
Basically, I have the right to offend you. Whatever
Yeah,
I say, I can
absolutely.
offend you.
And
You don't
that's
have to
part of
agree
it.
with
And
me.
that has to be part of it.
Yeah,
That has to be part of free speech. And I have to like it's like, okay,
absolutely. Yeah,
you can offend me
because I
and
can
I can
talk to a
walk over
million
here or
people.
I can respond
Yeah.
and now we're not gonna you know, and that has to be part of it. You
Jordan,
have
Jordan
yeah.
Peterson's his name. He says
Yeah.
you can't possibly not offend someone. You can talk to one person, maybe not offend them. Five
Yeah.
or 10 people, maybe you'll offend one. You talk to a million people, you're going to offend a small portion
Yeah.
of them. There's something you're going to say is going to offend somebody, no matter
And
what.
saying the exact same sentence too. It can be as like silly as
Yeah,
beans, but
right.
it's just like, no, 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 you can't say that.
Interpretation.
And it's
Right. And there goes that interpretation.
hermeneutics. All about interpretation. I know that's good. Like you could say the same benign sentence and somehow somewhere it's like, you can't say crystal beans are blue. Our crystal beans have always been red or something. It's like, what?
What did
Crystal
Justin Trudeau?
beans? You know, no, but I'm trying to
Justin
ridiculous, but
Trudeau
say what
didn't he
Jordan
say he doesn't
Peterson
want
is
to put
saying.
men in everything now? Your asshole Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. He doesn't
Hey,
want to
we're just
put. Oh,
talking
he's
about a
trying to
Canadian that we
make
like.
everything gender neutral.
Jordan Peterson is Canadian. Did you know that?
He's okay. Well, he's a smart Canadian. I hate your Prime Minister.
He's pretty.
He's such an idiot. Yeah, that's it. He's pretty.
He's very pretty. Who else is good? Oh, you don't like Jim Carrey, darn. He's also Canadian.
No, I don't
Um,
like him.
but any comic you do
Some
like, they're
movies of his
probably
I like.
Canadian. I don't know if that's true. Who
Uh, Let me
who's your
see. Gabriel
like?
Iglesias is Mexican.
Did you like Wayne's World?
Yeah, I did the
Yeah.
first one. Yeah, and Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey, I think, is Canadian, isn't he?
No,
No,
the
Mike
other guy,
Myers.
Mike Myers. I don't know if we did.
Dana
I
Carvey or
love.
Mike
I
Myers?
like
Yeah.
Dana Carvey more, but Mike Myers is Canadian. I like Mike Myers, but yeah, yeah. Oh, that one was
Yeah, I
classic.
like Mike Myers.
Oh, I've almost
Oh,
got.
he did the what? The gold. What was that movie? He's made the one that made famous. He's making fun of James Bond.
Oh yeah,
Gold
frig.
member. Austin
Oh,
Powers.
Austin Powers. Yeah, Austin Powers.
Yeah,
That's gold.
those are good.
Oh, they're
Those
just
are
like
good.
making fun of the '60s, like just ripping on it. How just and especially England. Like, how are English people ever sexy? It's true. It's like that was just everyone
Yeah.
was blind for a few years to think that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like full
The
on
fat
English and
Irish guy.
Scottish, but it's no,
The
but just
fat
like
Irish wrestler. Fat bastard.
the fat bastard.
That I could take. I could take offense to that, but I just thought it was funny.
But it's like that. That's exactly it. Like if you do, it's like, and I understand. It's like, okay, that's insensitive, the poor fat. But they actually do it. Well, I felt for the guy. Like it wasn't just mocking him, but it's definitely like dressed up in a fat suit just to and call him fat bastard.
Yeah, Mike Myers. He played so many parts in that movie. Mike Myers.
Yeah, he start. I'm trying. I get them all mixed up, but he played so many different
Yeah,
parts in there,
so,
didn't he? Mini,
except Mini Me. But he played the bad guy, the bald bad guy. What the hell was that? Oh, I can't remember.
was he like Doctor
He played
Evil?
Goldmember. He did Fat Bastard. He did Austin Powers. He did a few.
Yeah, and not in a terrible way. Not like in Oh, anyways, I'm good. Wow, it's getting fuzzy. Anyways,
A
I should probably
Canadian,
cut out, but other Canadians,
a Canadian playing a British spy taking place in America. Perfect. The
it's
international,
just great.
and that's it. The international made a mystery.
International, it's just drivel too. No, but it's exactly that. No, but it's to escape the things, because otherwise,
All
anyways,
right.
no,
So this movie
international
part's
mystery.
another 5 minute part. You can cut out from the other one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. We've got a little thing on Mike
Yeah.
Myers now. Mike Myers, Canadian actors, Canadians. Anyhow,
A lot of actors are from Canada. John Candy, loved him. He was from Canada.
oh, so good, so good.
He was one of the best.
Soup. Yeah.
Too bad
Oh,
he passed away at a young
passed
age,
early.
40, my
Yeah.
age, 45.
Oh yeah.
44, 45, yeah. He was young.
Dang. Yeah, when you're looking at it from this side, it's young. When we're young, it was like, oh, that guy's pretty old.
Yeah, right?
No, but
Oh
it
God,
was,
I don't even
yeah.
know. If his His very last movie was Wagons East. He had to be 600 pounds. They said he was 290 when he died. You look at him,
Yeah,
he was
a
five, six
bigger.
hundred pounds.
Yeah, he had a weight thing. But
I
that
got a
was.
funny story for you. I got a funny story for you. I went to horseback riding one time with my friends. I was always heavy. At this time, I was probably 450, closer to 500 pounds.
Mhm.
Everybody's getting the horse. The guy comes up, looks at me. How much do you weigh? I don't know. So I said 350. He didn't believe me. I think he brought out a freaking Clydesdale because the horse was tremendous.
It was,
Me being short, I can't get on this thing with just getting my foot in the stirrup and climbing over. So like Yosemite Sammy's got to give me the little stairs so
yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
climb
yeah.
up the horse and ride him. So I'm riding this horse and he keeps putting his head down. I don't know if you ever rode a horse.
Yeah,
I'm
oh
sure
yeah,
you
yeah,
have.
lots,
Okay.
yeah.
So when they keep putting their head down, they don't like you. They keep putting his head down and kept pulling up on the reins, putting his head down. He pulled down so hard I couldn't pull him back up. He went down, rolled over, and didn't get up till I got off his back.
Oh, that is not. Oh, that's just, oh man.
So I was, I didn't, there was no stairs. I couldn't like so somebody stand, pull the stairs out of my pocket, and get on the horse again.
No, it's just
So
like,
I was
here we
stuck.
go. This is
I,
oh my goodness.
yeah, I had to walk this horse back to the stables, and the whole time it's gritting its teeth. This horse did not like me.
Yeah, some horses can be really dicks. They really have
Yeah,
personalities. Yeah,
yeah,
some
I
of them.
heard.
Yeah, I've had
This
issues
horse
with
did
certain
not like me.
horses. One time, so we do like we had the horses always on the farm. Like we started off, we'd like work the cattle with the horses. I guess when I got older, they kind of like anyways, less and less and less. But you go with my cousins, they really like horses. Even they still have horses all over the place. It's hooching with them. But so going riding when we're younger, like a lot. It was just sort of the activity. We just go for a ride and then go bareback. Like that gets to be the thing. It's just a pain in the butt to put the saddle on and off. So you get like just
Yeah.
maybe a maybe a pad, maybe
You have
nothing,
reins,
right?
or
Just put on the yeah,
you
that's
have
it.
the reins though, or just it? Oh.
You didn't always have to put on reins. You could do it with just the halter, uh, but it's less control. Anyways, you could put on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bit real quick
yeah.
and then yeah. So usually it would have the yeah, exactly. The reins, you got and then just nothing on the back basically. And so there's this one time we go out and there was this horse and I did not like this horse. Ah, who was it? Was it Jack? It was Jack. Oh, Jack Daniels was his full name. I did not
Jack
like him.
Daniels.
I never liked him. One time he like took I couldn't like we were doing just with the halter. He took off on one time and just I had nothing to do.
Oh,
I had to bail. Like he was just gonna run me right. Anyways, so he did that to me once. But then so I wasn't riding him this time. I was riding Tia, named after was it Tia Maria or something? Another
Tia
drink name.
Carrera? Tia
Oh,
Carrera. Oh, Tia Carrera's an
yeah,
actress.
there's a liqueur I think called Tia something.
Oh, I don't
Doesn't
know.
matter.
I'm not a
Doesn't matter.
drinker. No.
But she is like, maybe shorter and pudgier. That's fine. I like her pretty good. But then Jack decides that it's mating time.
Oh my God!
I'm on the girl. Hmm? He gets up all behind me. Or he tries. He tries. Now, luckily Tia wasn't gonna have any of this shit. Like she was like, no, 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 and no, and so give him a kick or something. I hope in the right place. He was gonna get
Yeah,
up and
right.
double ride. What the fuck?
Oh my goodness!
That could have gone very badly. Like again, he's kind of like getting in position, and she
Yeah,
says no with a big hoof in the hards. But that's
yeah.
still. It was like, good God, what? Fuck you, Jack. Jack, I do not like Jack. So yeah,
Okay, I know you have to go back.
horses.
I was watching Dirty Jobs, and they were doing horse husbandry, and they
Hmm.
would basically they got to get the sleeves, so this horse has to mount a fake horse. They had the guy's got to be positioned under the fake horse to hold the sleeve. So
What a
that's
job,
a good
eh?
job, right? They got to
Well,
collect the semen somehow.
there are other ways of doing it, eh?
So,
I worked on a purebred farm.
I don't know.
Do you want to know how they do it? You don't, but I'm going to tell you anyways. The most
Well,
effective
no,
way.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that
It's not a fake
the
cow.
collection. Wait, let me finish. Just let me finish.
The
one
collection
second.
guy. Okay,
The
go.
collection, the collection thing is huge. It's got to be 3.5 feet long.
Yeah.
I've never seen a horse penis before. This is the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life.
They're
And you have to
ridiculous.
aim. This guy's got to get the thing. He's got to the horse has got to do. Oh,
They're
all right, go ahead. I'm the
ridiculous. They're
cartoon.
really just kind of like, and
Yeah,
really ugly. Like you just look at it as like that doesn't look like a like it's not their proper shape as it were, but it's just fucking ugh.
that's a
But
horse
no,
penis. I'm not
yeah,
interested in
is
that.
it? But it's weird looking. Dogs is even worse. Dogs are super weird
Yeah, the little
looking
pink rocket.
junk. But yeah, just like each anyway,
Yeah.
what else? No, but okay, so artificial insemination is big business because when you get to
Yes,
purebred
yes.
cattle, the big money is in selling,
Bull
the
semen.
material as
Yeah.
it were. But no one's gonna work at the job to get the bull semen every day. Milking the cows is a lot easier than milking the bulls, right?
Yeah.
There is
I
a
don't know
really
which one's
good
more
way of
fun.
doing it and a really efficient way of doing it. So you got to get your bag in place, like you say. What they
Right.
do is they go whoop
Yeah, I
up
knew
the
about
anus
this.
with a
Yeah,
probe, and
it's
they put a
electronic probe,
little
and they
zip
zap the
on
they
on
zap the
this.
prostate. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like this
and
G spot up the butt,
instant
and
ejaculation.
it's just
Yeah.
like that's fucked up. And I will never do it. Ever, ever,
No,
ever
neither
try
would
that.
I.
It looks very pleasurable for them, but fuck no, man. It's like,
You know,
so
someone
yes,
said they wanted to breed my dog, but I
yeah,
had to collect the semen. I'm like, my dog's close enough to me already. I don't need that. I don't want to.
good money though. It's good money because no one wants to do it.
Yeah,
It's
I
one of
know
those
it
dirty
is.
jobs. It's like
I think something like $1,000 an ounce or something for good bull semen.
it's really good business. It's ridiculous. That wasn't our farm. It was like a purebred Hereford farm where I worked on for a while, and they were yeah. That's just good business. Is you're selling genetic material. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
isn't that so Calypso? Yeah.
Well, all right. So we went. Okay,
So
end of the segment.
we found bull
All right.
jizz. Seeking truth, finding
Yeah.
bull semen. This is a
Oh
great.
man,
This is a
finding
weird.
different
I
ways
have
to
to figure out
castrate
where this one
animals.
went wrong. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, this went wrong all kinds of ways.
It did. That's all
We
right. That's all
started
right.
off good.
I guess so. Yeah. We always try, anyways. But yeah.
Oh
No, I'm glad
goodness.
for this. This was nice. This was good. Thanks, Frank. Yeah. But yeah.
You're welcome. All right, I know you had to go 20 minutes ago, so
No, no, no,
we'll
it's good.
sign
It's
off.
good. Like I say, this is the cleansing stuff. I gotta go finish up my snack there that I was making. But well, I hope you have a good night and
Thanks.
good
Hope so.
start to
Hope so
tomorrow.
too. All right. All right. God bless Fraser. This is Seeking Truth, finding Frank, Fraser, and Seaman. Frank and Fraser. And we're not doing that. I'm sorry.
We got
That
off
was
of
very
farming.
bad.
We got to Wicca. No, no, farming is no longer interesting.
Well, farming. Well, now farming is more interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stick to the vegetables. Maybe I'll just
Me
tend
too.
to tend to the crops
I'm
over
gonna
here.
plant a little garden outside. Maybe I'll plant a little garden outside. I'm not gonna go any further than that.
That's all right.
I'm
That's all
not
right. Yeah.
ready.
No, that's
All right. Good night, Fraser. Talk
yeah.
to you soon. God
Bye.
bless.